Sherlock is in the car. We are on our way to the vet appointment. Nate left, so he's not here right now. Sherlock is, yeah, we're taking him to the vet, and this is gonna be, kind of thinking it's gonna be hell, because he is crazy hyper right now. He didn't even walk well in our house, and that's like a comfort zone, so this is probably gonna suck. Not to mention I'm on like a lot of pain as it is, and he already dislocated my wrist and 2 of my fingers, and I was literally just putting him in the car. We just got out of the vet, and it went about as terrible as I expected. Sherlock refused to pee before going inside, so of course he had an accident inside. His trainer keeps telling me, like, you gotta make sure the dog pees before he goes inside a building, but he's like a 4-month-old puppy that hasn't yet learned how to potty on command, and that is easily distracted. And it's like over 80 degrees outside, and I'm heat intolerant, so my disabled ass can't do that. Anyways, and then we got inside and he was pulling everywhere, just constantly pulling on the leash. He sort of did a downstay while we were waiting in the waiting room, so I guess that I'm thankful for that. But then last time we took him to the vet, he held a downstay while the technician and the vet were in the room. Nope, wanted to rip out my wrist during that. It was just all around pretty terrible. I don't know, I mean, I could pretty much tell it was gonna be hell when we were just trying to get him into the van at home and he wasn't listening. Sometimes dogs just have off days. A lot of the times, if you're not feeling well, your dog isn't gonna act very well too, which is another wonderful thing. And then, like, honestly, his schedule's totally thrown off. Like, there's this weird guy in town that's hanging out in my house. He hasn't been able to do his walks the past like 3 days because it's hot as hell, because the weather hasn't figured out that it's supposed to be fall. So just like all of these things are off about Sherlock, so of course he's gonna have a tough time when we take him to the vet, not to mention the fact that his lunging is still a major problem because our trainer is not being helpful with that. So he's just got all these things working against him, or rather against both of us, so it makes things like that should be easy. Like, it should be easy to take your puppy to the vet. It's not, because he has all these things that he's still working through and that we're still trying to figure out. So yeah, it was about as terrible as expected, but we did it. He got 2 shots in the butt and 1 Portatella. I don't really know if it's called a shot, but the thing that goes in the nose. And he got a clear bill of health. He's 30 pounds now. Last time we went, he was 18, so he's definitely gotten much bigger, which makes pulling on the leash much worse. But yeah, now we're gonna go home and I'm going to try to rest, I guess, and try to cool off because I'm insanely hot now because it's hot as hell outside. We're waiting for Nate to come back, sparkling bubbly, and I'm watching Chronically Jackie. It would be an aesthetic shot to start the vlog off with. Well, we just got to the doctor and it started pouring rain the second we got here. Other people with chronic illnesses ever feel like the world is just like constantly screwing them over? I mean, it literally wasn't raining before we got here, and then like once we pulled in, it started raining. And I have a port that can't get wet, and a wheelchair that if it gets wet, I can't push it at all. I haven't really vlogged that much this weekend, and I'm sorry for that. I kind of just wanted to spend time with Nate, plus I was really sick with these muscle spasms in my back that we'll tell you guys more about later. But Nate left this morning, afternoonish, and now he's gone forever again for a while, I guess. And I'm going to see this random doctor that may or may not be able to be my PCP. We're still looking for a good primary care physician a little bit closer to home, but it's proving next to impossible to find one. I am sitting in the car while my mom went in to make sure that we had the right doctor and whatever. I'm kind of hoping that the rain lets up, even if it's just for a little bit. If not, I guess I'm gonna take some aesthetic. I'm gonna take some pretty shots of the rain.
Hi everybody. I'm going to videotape a little bit because Bethany is kind of in pain, which is her habit lately. Plus she's had her flu shot today, and I thought I'd share with everybody that we've been looking for a PCP around here in the area so that we don't have to drive an hour to go see a PCP, and we really didn't have a lot of hope to find somebody that was willing to take Bethany with all the complications and all the different chronic illnesses. But we went to see a doctor today, and he's going to be our new PCP, and he's really nice and very personable. We both liked him, right Bethany?
Yeah, he was super nice and super willing to research my conditions, which is a big thing for me.
So we're very happy about that. Now we're just hoping that Bethany will stop being sore from the flu shot, and that Sherlock, who is, you can't see him because he's down there, will behave himself until Bethany feels up to continuing all of his training.
Alrighty guys, I have not vlogged much today, and admittedly I was like a terrible vlogger over the weekend, so it's probably just like a couple of short clips. I'm sorry for that. Just a lot of things hit me at once. By the way, like, I'm super allergic to life right now, so sorry for the sniffles and the puffy eyes. But first of all, I just wanted to hang out with Nate, and that ended up being a lot more difficult than I expected because I was juggling, you know, him having to go and see his family like basically every day, and I can't go with him for that because all my conditions make basically everything impossible for me to do. And then I also have to deal with Sherlock, and then to top it all off, I have like this terrible muscle spasm going on in my back, hip, and now my upper like neck that just would not go away. And nothing was helping. My hydrocodone that I take for pain wasn't helping because obviously it's a muscle spasm. So then I was gonna try some tramadol that I have because it makes me really drowsy. Obviously I didn't combine these two, you shouldn't do that, but I was gonna try some tramadol that I had on a separate night in hopes that since it makes me super sleepy, I would at least just be able to sleep. But turns out that had been stored in the bathroom without my knowledge for several months. So of course the tramadol had no effect whatsoever. It was basically just a sugar pill at this point, because tramadol loses its effectiveness when it's exposed to bathroom-like conditions. And then that just basically unraveled my entire weekend, because after I took the tramadol, that meant that I was stuck without being able to take the hydrocodone for 24 hours afterwards, so I didn't have painkillers for most of the weekend at all, and then nothing was helping my muscle spasm at all. So we finally got desperate enough. I emailed my PCP, and they prescribed me something, I was gonna see the name of it. They prescribed me methocarbamol, which is a type of acute muscle relaxer just for injuries, and we tried that yesterday, and kind of took the edge off, but it didn't help as much as we were hoping. So the doctor today, when I saw him, decided to prescribe me something called cyclobenzaprine, I don't know how to pronounce that. So we're gonna try that. So yeah, it's just been really rough for me. If you've been following my vlogs, you know I really don't like to take a lot of medication because I tend to have bad reactions to them. So you know it's a pretty bad flare-up when I'm asking for some. Muscle relaxers for EDS are also like a super touchy subject, so I know everybody has a different opinion on that. For me, I've always tried to avoid them, but recently I've been having chronic severe muscle spasms. I should probably film them one of these days, but to the point where you can see my legs literally trembling with the spasm, and they're really painful. Anyways, so we're trying the cyclobenzaprine, I think is what it's called, tonight, and hoping that helps. Just had a really crappy weekend. Even though Nate was here, it just kind of became a whole bunch of problems all at once, kind of. I did enjoy getting to see Nate for a little bit, but it just seemed like I saw him for like 5 seconds. So that kind of sucked pretty badly. So now he's gone, and vlogging will go back to normal. Sherlock, by the way, was a major trooper when Nate was here. Basically, we just had him set up in this room. He was off leash, and like that's his piddle pad over there. He'd just run around, and for the most part he just slept because he's a Bernese Mountain Dog and that's what they do. But when he wasn't sleeping and it was time for play, he would just bring me a toy. We'd play some fetch and some tug, and then he'd go back to sleeping. He learned to jump up on the bed, which is really cute. I asked, obviously he can't jump up unless he's asked to, but when he would ask to, he would just curl up on my lap and cuddle me. So we had a really good time with Sherlock. It was Nate's first time meeting him. I'm going to pray that this cyclobenzapine works tonight, and I will see you guys tomorrow. So, good night.